What's up guys, Ruppy here, welcoming you to my final pool game for the BBR Summer Scramble 2023. My Columbus Swoo are set to take on the Shanghai Dragonites, coached by BB1azeman. His roster will be appearing off to the right. Before I get into that though, let me lay out where the standings are and what scenario I'm staring down right now. So, in the luxury pool, JIrachi, who I just beat in my previous game, ended up going 0-3 -9. They are out. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. QSN is sitting at 2-0 with a +5 differential. I am at 1-1 with a neutral differential. BB1azeman has only played one game so far. They are 1-0 with a +4 differential. So, my scenario is a little tricky. I could reasonably pull this off, but winning this game is necessary in order to even make the scenario happen. Ideally, winning this game by a 3-0 would be best case scenario. Well, obviously more differential would be even better, but it's going to be a struggle to make that happen. We'll see how the game plays out. A 3-0 at least gives me a bit more of a comfortable safety net. Because if I win this game, I would be 2-1. Then, pending the final differential, this is how it would shape up. From that point, if QSN beats BB1azeman, I move on no matter what, because I would be second place then, with the only 2-1 record in our group, because QSN would go 3-0. If BB1azeman beats QSN, however, it either has to be by not enough to overtake me, or by more than enough that it actually knocks QSN below me. Or if BB1azeman and I end up completely tied in terms of record and differential, I do believe head-to-head is the tiebreaker, which I would win, assuming, of course, I win this game. So on that note, let's go ahead and go over his roster and see what I'm up against. He has Kommo-o, which is his Tera captain, Galarian Slowking, Meowscarada, JIrachi, Melodic, Dashbun, Vikavolt, and Sandaconda. Tera Kommo-o is a huge problem. End of story. Not knowing what that thing's gonna tear into until the game itself is gonna make this a little more difficult. Kommo-o can do so many things. The fact that it has that Clangorous Soul move to basically replace the Clangorous Soul Blaze Z move from 7th gen does not help. Granted, it's only a +1 Omni boost, but in exchange for a third of its health. I have ways I can try to mitigate that, but I cannot let Kommo-o get out of hand. I also had to keep in mind I couldn't completely over-prep for Kommo-o, or at least I tried my best not to, because JIrachi can be a bit of a problem if I let it, especially since it can also do so many things, and with Serene Grace, it is an absolute pain. Meowscarada is a mon I know all too well. That thing outruns my entire team. I would not be surprised to see Scarf Meow to make sure it stays that way. Melodic and Dashbun is an annoying defensive tandem to break, and Galarian Slowking does not help matters. But not to mention that Vikavolt has webs. He has they pretty much have every form of hazards on their team. The one noteworthy thing though, BB1azeman does not have any form of hazard removal, so that is kind of the crux of how I'm hoping to deal with this. Let's get into my team and go over how I plan to do exactly that. Starting off once again with my own Tera captain, Heatran. I'm going Tera Fairy this time. Stealth Rock, Flash Cannon, Earth Power, Magma Storm. With this EV spread, I can live. If I don't Tera, I can survive a low kick from Meowscarada at full health if it is not running a Banded set. I believe even a Life Orb set is a roll. A Banded set definitely kills. Anything else misses the KO. Beyond that, this Heatran is pretty much meant to take hits from his team, set up rocks, and wear stuff down. It also kind of checks Kommo-o, depending on what set he's running, because my idea was that, especially with him not especially with them not knowing what Heatran's Tera type is until right when we're about to start playing. I'm hoping to try to create a pre-game mind game of sorts by trying to force Kommo-o into a bit of 4 move slot syndrome to deal with my team, if trying to boost is what they want to go with. This set in particular is meant to basically beat a Clangorous Soul setup set if they try to put a fighting move on Kommo-o in order to get around that, which would be good prep. That is why I have Tera Fairy, to be able to resist that. And while also being immune to clanging scales, as opposed to simply resisting it. If they happen to have Fairy or if they happen to have Steel or Poison coverage on Kommo-o, that would be impressive, but that would also kind of not work out so well for them in terms of dealing with the rest of my team, because I do have some fairly bulky things that could give Kommo-o some trouble in the grand scheme of things. So yeah, Heatran's goal here is basically set up rocks, wear things down. I went Flame Body for the ability, mostly because of the likes of Meowscarada, Physical JIrachi, and if they do go Physical Kommo-o, to be able to potentially get that 30% burn to kind of hinder them. I also have Magma Storm to trap things and wear them down. Earth Power covers quite a bit on the team. Flash Cannon means I am not completely helpless against Dash Bun because its well-baked body ability kind of completely stops Magma Storm. So that is the plan there. The 36 speed EVs are really there to... what was I trying to speed creep? I want to say Sandaconda trying to speed creep me, if I recall correctly. You'll have to forget. I did put enough time into this prep, but it's also a bit early in the morning for me when I'm recording this. Next up, we have Hisuian Samurott. And I may have borrowed some inspiration from Poke-Aim on this one, but it works. Samurott is honestly probably going to be my lead in this game 9 times out of 10. Focus Sash allows me to be able to, as long as I hit it, safely get up spikes through Ceaseless Edge. Razor Shell allows me to be able to have a water move to hit things, Water Stab. Aerial Ace, it destroys Meowscarada, especially since it is actually boosted by Sharpness, believe it or not. And it also gives me an option to threaten Kommo-o if it hasn't Terra'd yet, and depending on its Tera type, I could still chip it down. Encore is a bit of a niche option. Basically, the idea is primarily, again, for Kommo-o, though I could also use it on some of his more defensive things. If he tries to set up right in front of me with Clangorous Soul on Kommo-o, or maybe try to set up with JIrachi, or uses a non-attacking move on any of his defensive mons, I could Encore it, lock it into that, and then respond accordingly. Kommo-o really does not want to be locked into Clangorous Soul for sure, especially considering it would lose HP every time it uses the move, so ideally I can catch it. We'll see if that actually plays out. Moving on, I have Dusclops coming back. With Eviolite, this thing is absolutely bulky, pressure for PP, drainage. Nightshade is honestly a really good neutral option to just hit everything, except Meowscarada, but I'm not really planning on Dusclops dealing with Meowscarada. If I can catch it on the way in with a Will-O-Wisp, that would be nice. Pain Splits for recovery, and of course, I put Haze on Hair, primarily again for Kommo-o, so I can just wipe its boost, and all it's left with from Clangorous Soul is the health drop. But it works just as well on anything else that wants to try to set up on me, because Dusclops is tanky enough that it can take hits all day long. Moving on, we have Iron Valiant. Yep, I'm running mixed again, and this time I'm going Booster Energy. Mostly so I can make sure that I'm outrunning not only non-Scarf Meowscarada, but also anything below it that would be Scarf, or in the case of Kommo-o, could get up to +1 through Clangorous Soul. The speed EVs are specifically designed to outrun Scarf JIrachi without running my speed so low that Booster Energy doesn't give me the speed boost. Because, yeah, 341, speed is still my highest stat compared to the 339 from max special attack. So Booster Energy would proc a speed boost and allow me to outrun Scarf JIrachi, or even just outrun regular JIrachi if the Booster Energy's already been wasted. Ideally, this is my way of trying to get to the likes of Kommo-o or Scarf JIrachi or anything like that, wear them down or take them out, pick them off. Also non-Scarf Meowscarada. And then I feel once Meowscarada, any Scarfers, and especially Kommo-o are off the table, then I don't really need the Booster Energy boost anymore. So I could easily switch Valiant out and then bring it back in later to still do damage. Moonblast, Close Combat, Thunderbolt, and Knockoff is the set. I decided to take some out of Speed EVs and put them into attack just so Close Combat and Knockoff have a little extra oomph to them. Knockoff is primarily there just so I don't run a set that is completely walled by, I want to say JIrachi, because that gives me some, and Galarian Slowking for that matter. Next up, we have Dragonite, and again, I may have borrowed some inspiration from Pokeaim on this. This is a bulky Dragonite with Earthquake, Dragon Tail, Ice Spinner, and Roost. With Multiscale, I can take pretty much any hit from anything, and the idea is to, especially once I get my hazards up, do some shuffling with Dragon Tail to rack up some chip damage, and definitely make Kommo-o pay if it tries to set up Clang or a Soul on me, so it just, again, doesn't keep the boost, but takes the HP damage, and if it switches back in on hazards, that further chips it down, so it can't pull that stunt again. If they go Tera Steel, I mean, I've got Earthquake for that, I can chip the thing down. Ice Spinner is there primarily for Meowscarada and Sandaconda. It can also hit Kommo-o, but let's be honest, Dragon Tail is hitting it harder anyway. That is basically Dragonite's plan here. Come in, roost off damage if need be to try to get right back into an active multiscale, and just shuffle things around and wear them down. Last but not least, we have Donphan, and I decided to go with Assault Vest Donphan here. Primarily, again, because of Kommo-o, but it also does allow Donphan to be able to take on some of the slower, more bulkier mons, if need be. So I can easily come in, get a Rapid Spin off to get rid of any hazards, or Knock Off to get rid of items to try to make my job significantly easier. Earthquake is obviously stab and hits a good chunk of this team really hard. Ice Spinner is there, again, for the likes of Meowscarada and Sandaconda, because with this defensive investment, I can actually take a Flower Trick from a non-banded Meowscarada, even without Sturdy, as long as I haven't racked up too much damage, and then be able to threaten it with an Ice Spinner. Or, ideally, if it's Scarf, I could probably just go for the knockoff, get rid of that, and then Iron Valiant is in business for threatening that thing. So, that is the team. Will it work out? Will I be able to secure my ability to move on in the BBR Summer Scramble? Well, we're about to find out. You know, I'm just now noticing before we get into the battle that, I think BB1azeman messed up the your time when they made this competition, but I'll let it be. Anyway, it's battle time. Let's go ahead and start searching. So our opponent has been found, so good luck, have fun, BB1azeman. Let's see if I can pull off this must-win to keep my hopes of moving on alive. So, Kommo-o, which is of no surprise to me. Meowscarada, JIrachi, Dashbun, Galarian Slowking, and Vikavolt. So, from what I see here, no Sandaconda, no Melodic. No Melodic is honestly less stress. Don't have to worry about that. Kind of makes Thunderbolt on Valiant redundant now, but as we are currently exchanging Tera types. Samurott is always my lead. That was always the game plan. And before I go ahead and lock this in, his Kommo-o is Tera Ghost. Okay. Little clever. Curious what... Well, I guess it allows us to take on Dusclops easier, but... I mean, Heatran's not going to be bothered by it. It actually kind of makes it... Regardless, let's go ahead and get into this battle. I already know what my game plan is going to be. Or at least at the start here. Hisui and Samurott is always my lead. That was what I said. And that's exactly what we're doing. So, Meowscarada is the lead. Somehow, I am not surprised by this. Does not change my plan, though. I Ceaseless Edge to... I am sashed, so I Ceaseless Edge just to get my spikes up. Every time. That is the plan. So, Flower Trick is going to come out. I'm going to be able to live this because I am sashed. There's that. And now we hit the Ceaseless Edge and get spikes up. That is exactly what happened. That... Alright. Lost the Dark typing because of Protean. So that did quite a bit of damage. Have no problems with that. You know what? I'm going to let Samurott go here. I'm to see if they switch out or try to get another... Or try to get... Want to see if they just pick off Samurott, or if they switch out, at fearing maybe the... Oh no, RuppDat wouldn't kill from this range. Would it? Assuming I had it? Nope, there's going to U-turn out, which is fine with me. That also confirms they are not Scarf, which is important to know. So, Meowscarada. KOs Hisui and Samurott. With U-turn. I do have a layer of spikes up, though, so I do have that going for me. And Meowscarada is heavily chipped, so confirming that it's not Scarfed benefits Iron Valiant greatly. Because that means once I pop my booster energy, I can outrun it and threaten it. Not to mention, it probably doesn't want... Unless it's boots, it probably doesn't want to be coming back in on spikes, on the spike anyway. So, what am I going to see now? Because they have no hazard removal. And unless he's got boots throughout his entire... Unless they got boots throughout their entire team, Vigavolt's the only thing that is immune to the spike because of Levitate. Which is exactly why they're sending it out. Which, honestly, makes a ton of sense. So, I want to double check quick before I just go throwing Heatran out here to scare this thing off. Because it is incredibly tempting. I want to make sure it doesn't get any moves that I should be concerned about. The only ones would be Mud Shot and Mud Slap, if you really want to go with that. I could also just go Dawn Fan. No, I'm gonna go Heatran to scare this thing out. Because I don't think this thing really has anything that could hit Heatran. If he wants to get up webs, that is perfectly fine with me. I'm just gonna go ahead and click Magma Storm because unless this thing is sashed, Magma Storm will kill it. And anything else, I can trap it and go from there. So, I am down 6-5, but I don't feel I'm necessarily in too bad of a spot right now, because I have my Spike. Meowscarada is heavily weakened, and I know it's not choiced. They're just gonna switch out, which is completely fine with me. Into... is this Dash Bun? It's Glow King! Which is fine with me. It takes Spikes damage. I trap it with Magma Storm, which I am all for that. So that will help wear this thing down a little more. It can't switch out, which means it can't get Regenerator. And I'm just going to go ahead and get my rocks up, start piling up my hazards. Make this a little more difficult on him, see what he wants to do. I wouldn't be surprised to see Chilly Reception just to be able to get out of Magma Storm. That would confirm to me he's not... That would confirm to me this thing is not, Okay, I'm gonna get my rocks up, which is definitely gonna help out quite a bit. Alright, are you Chilly Reception? Let's see. No, you're just gonna Psychic. Which Heatran is gonna eat all day. So, I got my rocks up, I got a layer of spikes up, Glowking is currently trapped in here with Magma Storm, and I don't believe can touch me. So this is the part where I just Earth Powered. I think I take this thing out this turn. Either way. Because even if Earth Power doesn't kill, Magma Storm will. So, Heatran already putting in work. Gotta love it. And I have not even had a need to use my Tera yet. Alright. So, Heatran's definitely gonna get out of this with minimal damage, which is nice. Glowking can't go anywhere unless they do have Chilly Reception and they're just sitting on it, but they would have to bank on me either not having Earth Power or not using it this turn for whatever reason. There it is. It is gonna barely be able to live. Focus Blast! Okay, the miss was unfortunate. Heatran would have lived it anyway, barring maybe a crit. No, even a crit wouldn't have killed from the range I was at. So, that is unfortunate, but Heatran still would have been able to get out of... Heatran would have lived it anyway, and the Magma Storm would have picked off Galarian Slowking. So, the only real difference that makes in the grand scheme of things is the fact that my Heatran is going to be healthier, much healthier, for whatever comes in now. Which, I'm half actually, I don't know if there's much they can really go into. Kommo-o feels like the most likely that they would, to be perfectly honest. Nope, they're gonna go into Meowscarada. And is it Boots? It is not Boots! It is gonna live the rocks, though. So there is that. I have not seen Life Orb on this thing either, so I'm curious what this thing's set is. So, at that... I can take a hit from this thing. The question is, do I want to? Because I don't like the idea of a knockoff. Would they have low kick? You know, I'm just gonna pop my Tera now and just go for the Flash Can to pick this thing off. Because Meowscarada out of the way is gonna make Iron Valiant's job significantly easier later. And this at least allows me to better resist the knockoff if that's what's coming. Or, I guess, take more damage from the Flower Trick. So, definite mistake on my part. Heatran is going to get this KO, though. So that is unfortunate, but really the only significant threat that creates kind of boils down to what their Kommo-o set is, in terms of how much that was a mistake on my part. I mean, Vikavolt, I mean, this Heatran is especially bulky anyway. It doesn't resist... Well, actually, no, I think... What does Fairy still resist Bug Buzz? Let me double check that while they're, deciding what they want to do. Bug... Fairy does resist bugs, so I do still resist a Bug Buzz from, So at least as far as Vikavolt's concerned, nothing has changed. Dash Bun, they know I've got Flash Cannon, and that thing does not want to be taking that. JIrachi, I don't think wants to be taking me on period. Well, I mean, Iron Head does significantly hurt now, but I do still have Magma Storm, and I do still have, well, speaking of JIrachi, it takes Spikes, it takes Rocks, which is certainly appreciated. So, this is where what this JIrachi set is becomes important, actually. I could take an Iron Head from this range if they're Scarfed. The question is, do I want to? Banded kills. Honestly, I'm gonna go to Donphan. Because I think Donphan can handle this thing fairly decently since I'm Assault Vest. See what it wants to do. Especially since I do have Sturdy intact. Doom Desire! Okay, talk about moves I haven't seen from JIrachi in a hot minute. Doom Desire. Interesting. I don't think this thing stays in, though. I'm going to go ahead and knock off predicting a switch. Into what, though? Kommo-o, perhaps? Nope, Vikavolt. Which is honestly fine with me. I can get rid of whatever item this thing has, which would be... Yep, it's Boots. Because that thing took no rocks damage. And from here... I'm going to go ahead and Ice Spinner. So I can take a hit from this thing. I'm AV. So I can start chipping away at it with Ice Spinner. If they want to set up... If they have webs and want to set up with it, I can spin those away. Pretty sure this is the turn Doom Desire will hit, too. And I think with AV, I think I can live a Bug Buzz and the Doom Desire. There's the webs, which is fine with me. I can spin those away, no problem. Gonna go ahead and pop this Ice Spinner. Wow, you are bulky. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and start rapid spinning now. Energy Ball. Which Donphan's gonna be able to live. Oh, Donphan. Donphan, this is why I love ya. I'm just gonna go ahead and rapid spin away in case they want to try and get their webs back up. Because I can keep playing this game. Actually, I think I outspeed now, so maybe rapid spinning wasn't the best idea. It's fine, though. Because Donphan did pretty much what I needed it to, which is keeping hazards off the field, particularly webs. So I can go from here. So chip it down even further with another rapid spin. That is a mistake on my part. But I know for sure I definitely outspeed this thing now, so I can just keep rapid spinning away. And Kommo-o is not Tera'd yet, so they can't go Tera Ghost to block this yet. Meaning I can just keep rapid spinning away, get these webs out of here. That Vikavolt is also dead because it lost its boots. Into Dash Bun, which is going to take Spikes. It's going to take Rocks. Donphan's now at +3 speed, and these webs are once again gone. Or are they? Okay, that was actually kind of clever. Okay, then. So that's a thing that happened. But I can go back into Heatran and scare this thing out. Because Flash Cannon definitely kills. Yeah, okay, so the webs are still there. The switch to Dash Bone was actually really clever on their part. But Heatran is still in an incredibly good position right now. Vikavolt dies to rocks. End of story there. This thing can't take a Flash Cannon. Meowscarada, I believe, Well, no, Meowscarada's dead. JIrachi doesn't want to take a Magma Storm. I'm just going to go ahead and Flash Cannon. Because it kills this thing and I can get Leftovers Recovery. Or if they want to send something in, I can pop it with Flash Cannon and we can go from there. So, the webs being up is annoying, but I think I can still handle it. That was a good play on their part. I will give them that. Didn't think Rocky Helmet would even be a thing. They're gonna protect. Yeah, that is perfectly fine with me because I just get Leftovers Recovery back and I can just keep going for Flash Cannon. Can Kommo-o take it if it comes? I mean, JIrachi would probably come in to take it, but it doesn't want to take... Okay, what is coming in now? Is it JIrachi? They're just going to let Vikavolt go down to rocks, which is fine with me. So, Vikavolt is gone. I'm just going to get more Leftovers Recovery back, which just... It works out perfectly fine for me. And now the question becomes what comes in, and I kind of feel like it almost has to be Kommo-o. Nope, it's going to be JIrachi. So I know they've got Doom Desire. Do they have any other Steel move, though? I'm going to go ahead and go for Magma Storm. I mean, maybe it's baiting the double into Dash Bun, but... Yeah, okay, Doom Desire is all they have, which is actually fine with me, because if I hit this Magma Storm, JIrachi's dead. And goodbye, JIrachi! So Heatran's just going to get even more Leftovers Recovery back to put in a better spot to take on Kommo-o. So that just leaves Kommo-o and Dash Bun. The Doom Desire is definitely threatening. That is for sure. But I do have other things that can... Yep, here comes the Kommo-o. So I've got at least one turn before Doom Desire hits. I know this thing is Tera Ghost. I'm gonna go ahead and Magma Storm it, see what it wants to do. There is Clangorous Soul. So it's got its Omni Boost, it hasn't Terra'd yet. Throat Spray boosted special attack even further. I'm still going to be able to take a chunk out of it with Magma Storm. I'm going to be able to get the Magma Storm damage off on it. Heatran's just going to recover even further. And now the question just becomes, where do we go from here? Let me double check Throat Spray real quick, because it's been a while since I've used that item. Raise special attack by 1 stage. So this thing is a +2 special attack, which is honestly fine with me. So honestly... I kind of feel like the rest of my team can go from here. I'm just gonna stand in Flash Cannon. See what this thing wants to do. It goes for Boom Burst, which Heatran is able to take. And this Flash Cannon is gonna kill. Heatran is gonna die to Doom Desire, but... So at this point, Dash Bun is all that is left. And I know it's got Rocky Helmet. So the question really becomes, what do I send in to finish it off? Part of me honestly kind of wants to just go into Valiant. Because why not? I mean, Dusclops would be the safer option, honestly. Yeah, I'm going to go into Dusclops because I really need to be preserving differential, honestly. Dusclops' speed will be lower, but this thing is slow anyway, so that is perfectly fine. This thing is going to take hazard damage. I've got pressure going. And I'm just going to go ahead and just start spamming Nightshade. Oh, don't even start with this, dude. I mean, I know this thing has Protect, but... I mean, I get it. I get it, I really do, but... you gotta do what you gotta do. But, I mean, with pressure, I will be able to stall out Wishes and Protects as it is. I don't think this thing can really touch me. Okay, it's got Play Rough, which is fine. I just Nightshade here. Chip this thing down. Click Nightshade again, and I think that's ball game. Yes, it is. So there goes Dash Bun. So, good game, BlazMan. I'm incredibly sorry about that Focus Blast miss, because, I mean, in retrospect now, yeah, it mattered a lot more because it allowed Heatran to stay healthy enough to basically do the damage it did this game. I can't even deny that at this point. Obviously, in the moment, I didn't think that was the case, but that's the power of hindsight for you. But a 3-0 win will conclude my pool play at 2-1 plus 3. So, honestly, kind of the ideal scenario that I wanted to be in. So from here, it's basically now a matter of what happens in BlazMan and QSN's game. Because BlazMan needs to win by at least a plus 3 to be able to make it in. Which would still benefit me because QSN would drop to 2-1 plus 2, which would put them under me. So, honestly, I think I'm in the best possible position I could be in to nearly guarantee that I'm moving on. But we will see exactly how it plays out. I will be sure to let you guys know how it does play out when that game gets played. But, regardless, thank you guys so very much for watching. I have been Ruppy, and my Columbus and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Hey guys, just wanted to pop in here with a really small, really quick update, since it kind of took me longer than I had planned to actually get this video out. I can actually go ahead and share that QSN and BlazMan have long since played this game, and BlazMan did end up winning that game 4-0. So at a 2-1 plus 5 differential, BlazMan will move on. With a 2-1 plus 1 differential, QSN is out. So, since we were at 2-1 plus 3, I will be coming back for the bracket stage, so look forward to that.